We pray for Ukraine or you reign.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visite suprememastertv.com/schedule.
మా కార్యక్రమాలు అందజేస్తున్నాయి అనేక భాషలలో. దయచేసి చూడండి suprememastertv.com/schedule.
In Tuareg societies, women hold a respected social status, with families living in tents that are named after the married woman, who is regarded as the owner of the tent. The families are matrilineal, with social ranking through the mother's line. The Tuareg, Sahara's indigenous people. Please continue watching to find out more.
Vegan, contributor of world peace.
Creative viewers, if you hear the expression Talesag, that means hello in the Tuareg language spoken by the fine Tuareg people of northwestern Africa. My name is Hodi. The sincere Tuareg pray that your heart radiates joy and uplifts those around you. Today it is our pleasure to present our show, The Tuareg, Sahara's indigenous people. The Tuareg have long lived in the Sahara in the countries of Algeria, Burkina Faso, Libya, Mali, Niger, and Nigeria. They are considered part of a larger indigenous African group called the Berbers. Their total population numbers over 2 million. The Tuareg are often referred to as the blue men of the desert because of the indigo blue robes that are often worn that slightly dye their skin. The language spoken is Tuareg, which is part of the Berber branch of the Afro-Asiatic language. These semi-nomadic communities were even mentioned by the Greek historian Herodotus, who recorded information about the Tuareg in the 5th century BC. The group largely adheres to the Maliki school of Islam, but includes some of their own customs and nuances. They do not follow Ramadan due to the rigorous travel that they often undertake. In the 19th century, the Tuareg became organized into 7 confederations, each of which had a chieftain who in turn utilized the insights of elder advisors. The Tuareg also maintained trade routes across the Sahara Desert for many years, where goods were brought into Africa or traded within the continent. The trade caravans that moved through made large earnings through trading in luxury goods. Their history as trade merchants dates back centuries. It was highly profitable for them to move salt, dates, saffron, and gold between North Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. The Tuareg were in control of these trade routes due to their widespread knowledge and experience of traversing the Sahara. This lasted until the early 1960s, when trade restrictions were imposed by the region's nations.
Smart entrepreneur? No wonder you are vegan.
In Tuareg societies, women hold a respected social status, with families living in tents that are named after the married woman who is regarded as the owner of the tent. The families are matrilineal, with social ranking through the mother's line. Historically, women held positions as community leaders and controlled their own property. Women are regarded as the descendants of Queen Tin Hanan, who is said to have united the Tuareg and became known as the mother of the Tuareg people. She traveled from what is today known as Morocco to what became known as Algeria in the 4th century AD, and her name translates to She of the Tents. Other stories also share how female ancestors founded traditions. For example, Tagumat was a heroic warrior and the mother of twin daughters who are believed to have founded the art of herbal healing. A woman normally has the choice regarding who she wishes to marry. The wedding itself is a week-long event. When a woman is married, she's given a tent by her female family members. She will often keep the tent for her entire life. During Tuareg celebrations, women don't dance in front of strangers, and the noblemen don't dance to avoid possibly appearing undignified. Men often wear a veil that partially covers their face. Females, however, don't wear it. Males begin wearing the veil at the age of 18 or 25, depending on their group's traditions. It is also said that a Tuareg man takes his teapot with him wherever he goes, with the Tuareg having a rich tea ritual. The tea ceremony is a hallmark of Tuareg hospitality and a chance to have a conversation with a visitor. Preparing the tea takes some time, and each tea is unique, with the finest quality used wherever possible.
Vegan leader, brave defender.
Gentle viewers, we are going to pause for a moment to brew some refreshing herbal tea. Our show will return in just a moment. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television.
Peace for Ukraine or Ukraine now. Russia, just go home.
Welcome back to today's show, The Tuareg, Sahara's indigenous people, on Supreme Master Television. Within the Tuareg community are the Inheden, or artists and smiths who are skilled in creating jewelry and handicrafts. The artisans long held a low status in society as their ability to create works from metal tempered with fire was seen as being somehow connected with the spirit world. Jewelry was traditionally made from silver, copper, brass, tin, aluminum, and also gold. The different designs on the jewelry have varied meanings. Circles often represent the eye of a chameleon, while a half circle represents the moon. Jewelry and other work from Tuareg artisans were displayed in US exhibitions held at the University of California, Los Angeles Flower Museum between 2006 and 2007, and the Cantor Arts Center at Stanford University in 2007. The displays were largely organized by Thomas Seligman, who was the John and Jill Friedenreich director of Cantor Arts Center at the time. Called Arts of Being Tuareg Sahara Nomads in a Modern World, it featured videos of artists and artwork by a Tuareg family from Nigeria. The artisans, a husband and wife, came from a long line of Inheden and were also teaching their children and extended family to make jewelry and clothing. Mr. Seligman stated, "I became intrigued by their Tuareg way of life, and I wanted to know all about how and why they produced art. He stated, "I simply love the people and the rich culture and art from this part of the world." Mr. Seligman noted that throughout the tumultuous changes that the Tuareg have experienced, the Ineden have adapted in a unique way due to their vocation. They tended to be more sedentary because they worked with fire and required a workshop. When aid workers came into Tuareg areas, they began to purchase Ineden wares. And in the case of the family whose work Mr. Seligman displayed, they were no longer nomadic and formed economic relationships with outside groups. Due to various factors, including devastating drought, some Tuareg have now settled in villages and are cultivating land to produce food in order to survive. In villages in Mali, for example, homes are constructed with mud bricks that are made near the river instead of the traditional tent homes. The diet has changed to include more grains and vegetables such as rice and potatoes. Environmental archaeologist Dr. David Wright of the United States researched the creation of the Sahara Desert and discovered some very important patterns. About 11,000 years ago, this region was green and full of life, featuring rivers and forests. There was a transition from a more humid climate to a dry one that occurred rapidly between 8,000 and 4,500 years ago. So he researched this phenomenon in greater depth. He noted that when the archaeological records indicated the presence of pastoralists, there was a change in the types and the variety of plants in the region. Dr. Wright concluded that when groups took goat persons and cowfolk across the grasslands, this essentially destroyed the environment. He has stated, by overgrazing the grasses, they were reducing the amount of atmospheric moisture plants give off moisture, which produces clouds, and enhancing albedo. Albedo refers to the reflection of the sun's rays off the Earth's surface. Vegetation cover helps to protect against the sunlight directly penetrating the ground, so when herds of animal people destroyed this flora while traveling with humans, less humidity and moisture went into the air.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Algeria is one of them.
Algeria. Law 88-8 of 1988 and Penal Code. Law 88-8 establishes a prohibition against those who practice ill treatment towards domestic and tamed or captive wild animal people. According to the Penal Code, infringements are punishable by fines and/or imprisonment, with the heaviest punishment being a 5-year jail sentence for poisoning animal persons.
Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting. No more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan. Make peace. So be it.
Supreme Master Qinghai, vegan, has also noted this pattern of environmental devastation due to intensive animal person raising that is occurring on a global scale. For decades, she has lovingly cautioned humanity on the harms that raising animal folk for food cause. The practice destroys our planet and worsens human health, including spreading dangerous diseases among human populations.
As drought and water crises are spreading silently across the globe, affecting 44% of the world's population, even triggering conflicts in some areas. The animal, people, livestock industry is guzzling much of our precious fresh water. Animal, people, livestock feed crop production alone takes up 1/3 of all arable land on the globe, most of which requires irrigation. So in reality, 4,500 liters of clean water goes down the drain for just one serving of beef. In contrast, only 370 liters of water are needed to produce one complete vegan meal, with plenty of calories and nutrients from rice, vegetables, and soy protein. This is even more staggering than when we consider the epic pollution levels inflicted by animal people production on our water resources, such as islands on rivers, lakes, and groundwater. If we really want to conserve our clean, safe water for ourselves and our children, we must stop livestock production and adopt a plant-based diet.
We pray that the respected Tuareg people will be blessed with an abundance of fresh vegetables, fruit, and grains to sustain them as they live joyful lives surrounded by their loved ones.
Brutality to an animal is cruelty to mankind. It is only the difference in the victim. Alphonse de Lamartine, vegetarian.
Vibrant viewers, it has been a pleasure to have your company on today's program. Coming up next is Jean Ball, Vegan, a powerhouse for veganism, but one of two, right after noteworthy news. May we quickly adopt the vegan diet to preserve our precious environment for all of humanity, including the indigenous peoples who depend on nature to live and flourish.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds. Heaven, Godspeed.
Peace for Ukraine or Urane.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/CTAW.